If I should talk about things like that. I think the only things I should talk about are how angry I make people, betting accounts because I care about them, right? We should make CSS bet.
CSS bet. I love
That
gambling.
Can we get a DraftKings sponsorship? That's your cold open. Welcome back to Mariner Mondays. It is a relatively quiet last week. We had to kind of put things together for this week's show. As always, Jake Parr, Brittany Wisner join Charles over here for another Mariner Mondays show. I remember when we first started, I did call it Mariners Mondays. I didn't like the S, so we dropped it. Um, I think the real developments that we've gotten are the Ryan Divish through the chain link fence videos. That's kind of all we've gotten so far this week. As you know, the players start to head down to Peoria. A lot of them are already there or have been there as spring training begins to, really get underway. I think we're about a week out from the first like broadcast game they do, or it might be a webcast. Either way,
Friday.
is
It's on
yeah.
Friday.
So as long as we were able to see that, that's all I care about. Um, I mean, there are some positive notes, I guess, in terms of health. And the kind of the start to the show is just early thoughts on that and maybe feelings as we get into spring training. Troy Taylor, who we mentioned, I believe it was last week with Jerry's thoughts and how that segment goes. Mentioning that Troy Taylor had a lat strain and might miss some time. He did. Um, there was a positive update on Troy Taylor, which is nice to hear about. Just, lat strain isn't ideal, and the way that Jerry talked about it, it seemed like Troy would begin his season, still kind of working out of the Peoria Sports Complex. There hasn't been anything that says no, that's fine. He's good to go now. But he's been cleared to resume throwing, so that's nice to see. Another nice thing in Matt Brash's recovery as he comes back from Tommy John is that he threw a bullpen recently. I know Jerry also said that they thought he might be back at the end of April, and people were like, "That's not possible. He's not doing that." And I don't know. I mean, I still got to see it, right? But it's nice to see him kind of continue his recovery. Seeing him around, excuse me, the ballpark was nice at the end of the year. He just kind of seemed happy to be there. Um, and the Mariners posted even in the offseason that he was working out. But outside of that, it's kind of been guys throwing bullpens. Cole Young has a mustache, if that moves you.
Good one.
Um, and uh nice to know that Victor Robles is back. I think the most important news is Tucker is there. That's the most important things. Brittany, as I know you're, so full of health right now. Um, just I don't know, any early thoughts on either, just kind of being back in spring training and seeing these guys get there. Anything on Casey Legumina's release point, or anything
Yeah.
you're feeling as we're kind of getting stuff out of Peoria, and then Jake, you can pick up from there.
Yeah. I love watching the guys show up with new pitches and all that stuff. Bryce Miller is such a menace. Like he is gonna have 12 different pitches by next year. It's wild. So yeah, it's been really fun. I'm really glad to see Gregory Santos throwing and throwing full. And I really hope that he can be a part of this team this year. That would be huge. So I like to see that. I like to see and hear Gabe Spire just getting his velo back, and Daniel Kramer writing about the off-season work he did and adding some muscle. So that's all good stuff. And then it's fun to see some of the hitting content start to come out. And I just am going to watch over the next week and a half, to see that everyone's healthy. Like at this point, just no soggy arm reports. Like just everyone be healthy, please. And let's just like ease into spring training games. That is like the most important thing right now is no soggy arms.
I just try to get that eye back in. Yeah, like you said, it's really good to see everybody back on throwing. Emerson Hancock is also hanging around. I'm not sure if we've seen any clips or anything of him throwing a bullpen or anything, but he's definitely around. He's apparently developed a couple more pitches over the offseason. But, okay, and this is what really interests me, right? At the end, he did an interview with Brock and Salk, I think yesterday, and at the end, they asked him, this being a stacked 5-man rotation, could he transition into a relief role? And he said he could adjust to it. Right now he's a starter, but I think he said, I definitely think if it was one of those things where we needed to do it or we needed to make that change, I definitely think I could adjust to it. Which, listen, okay, I've been saying it. Emerson Hancock,
You did.
reliever. I believe it's possible. I believe in him.
We've got complete belief in it on Jake's screen here, and then
That's
Brittany's
great,
just
man.
kind of shaking her head like,
I have total faith.
Okay, well, you'll have to work on convincing me.
hey, I mean, he surely saw our episode and he saw Jake's
Yes.
and said, maybe
Yes.
I should be in his
Yes.
little southerny Georgia accent. He said, maybe I can be a reliever. I don't know what that
That's-
is.
Wow. Hopefully we don't
I'm not
have
saying
many
that around
listeners in
him.
the South.
I don't know. It is interesting to kind of see. I think we've all kind of talked about the invites and such, but seeing some of the guys that are there to throw, um, I think I talked about Hunter Cranton last time, and him being what was he? Creighton. He's a closer at Creighton. He threw a handful of innings in Modesto. He seems like a fun guy. And then there's just kind of the innocuous content, like seeing Cal Raleigh's gloves. Woo! I mean, the gold and the platinum's nice for sure.
Platinum's so cool.
It's
So happy for him.
Oh, it's so well deserved. Yeah. Like seeing Darius Valdez, who was Andres Munoz's roommate with the Padres in the minor league system, and he's 6'8". Like that's a big dude. Um, I don't know if he'll land, but like could be fun. Then seeing Neftali Feliz come in and be like, wow, you. So it's fun. I think like Brittany and I talked about just with spring training getting underway, like it's always nice to just get that content. Like seeing Mariners Twitter be like, "Oh, I can't wait to see Divish post videos of these bullpens." I wonder about that guy's phone storage. Um,
Oh, he definitely posts and deletes
yeah, I would hope
for
so.
sure.
Um, Does he know how to do that?
That's a
You
great
give
question.
him a lot of credit, Jake.
We gotta
He's
ask him.
around the guy. That's yeah. Then when I
My
see him
favorite, yeah.
in a few weeks, I'll be
Yeah,
like, "How do you manage the storage?" He's like,
he's actually like a Dropbox premium member.
yeah, okay." And
My
then-
favorite Divish video I've seen so far, by the way, is the tags at home practice with the catchers.
Yeah.
Oh.
Where they have a relay, like throw a ball in home, and then I'm not sure who it is, but one of the coaches is there with a yoga ball and just chucks it at the catcher. Love that. That's great fun.
Arnrick? It might be.
I think it was, yeah.
I
That
recognize
is a
that strong
choice.
jawline.
I went on a rant about that this morning. It's funny you bring that up, Jake.
did?
I had a coach that used to take when we were practicing indoors. One of the like carts that like lunch ladies used to push around, and he'd put like all the ball bags on it to like weigh it down and throw it into me as I'm fielding play from the outfield, and
Oh man,
that was way different than a
that's like
giant
30
workout.
pounds.
My God.
Yeah,
That's,
he'd just roll that into us like as fast as possible.
be careful doing that around Mitch Garver, all right? Like, you
Yeah,
need him
well,
to get
Mitch Garver
to.
does need the exercise ball. That's
You need-
Yeah,
I'm like watching this video now. I'm like, all right, I can tell which one is Garver. All right.
yeah.
Yeah, no, it's always, especially the early days before we get to games, like it's just kind of like you're looking for scraps. The smaller things like Jonathan Diaz was DFA'd but he's back on an invite. So,
That's right. Yeah.
there's that.
Hey, Charles.
Hey, Jen.
Hey, how about those Zaps?
Oh, I'm excited.
I know. Where are you going to watch all those away games, though?
Away games. Huh. I was thinking of coming here since, after all, Rough and Tumble is the home of Circling Seattle Sports.
I love that idea. Hope to see y'all here.